All right, guys. So, what I'm going to do now is we've done our bell work and we've done our vocab. Now, I'm going to get into this lesson today. I'm hoping we have time to do a little bit more than just the tag and that we can get into some of the summary. But for right now, let's talk about yesterday, we talked about the evidence based writing process and we talked about the introductory paragraph, the body paragraphs, and the concluding paragraphs. If you need to remember what goes in each one, I want you to refer back to the notes that we took yesterday. I also, one of the reasons is because I wasn't going to be here today. I shared with you the material of the slides that we did yesterday. So if you forget what a tag is, you're able to go back into that slide. It's in your Google Classroom. It says material introduction to evidence based writing, I believe. But that whole slide that I shared yesterday, I gave you for material. So, what we're going to do today is we did an overview yesterday. What we're going to do today is we're going to hone in on that introductory paragraph. And the very first thing that goes into an introductory paragraph is a tag. And so here I have a lesson, and we're just going to kind of go over this together. You do have this tag practice in your Google Classroom. You will be able to get in there and see it and work on it. And then after we finish, you are going to practice tag and you're going to practice writing these yourself. But let me do a little bit of a lesson before we start. So, to review, tag means title, author, and genre. The title is simply the title of whatever you read, the author is who wrote it, and the genre is simply what kind of writing is it. We're not going to get into anything complicated like is it historical fiction? Is it um, realistic fiction. We're simply going to say something like this: the novel, the poem, the short story, the biography, something like that, that is very simple. This is how you're going to start every introductory paragraph. Now, it doesn't always have to be title, author, genre. It can be genre, author, title, or author, title, genre, or any way you can mix it up, but I think it's a lot easier to remember if you say tag and know that that acronym simply means title, author, and genre. So there are a couple of mistakes that I think are pretty common when we talk about students writing tag. And the first one is the mistake that they made in this first example here. So let's look at this first example. In the short story, The Necklace by Guy de Maupassant is about. Now, I'm going to give you just a second of think time because I want you to look at this and I want you to think, what mistake is there? Now, one of the things I noticed they did really well is they put quotation marks around the title. That shows that this is the title of a book. I noticed they also put commas around the author and title before and after. So that is good. Let me read this again and let's see if you can find the mistake. In the short story, The Necklace by Guy de Maupassant is about. Let me see if you can get it this way. I'm going to just take the title and the author out and see what happens. Now let's read it. In the short story is about. Now, does that make sense? But that's something that a lot of seventh graders do. So, how can we change this to make this sound better? We simply take in out. We can say the short story, The Necklace by Guy de Maupassant is about. All right? Now, when you're writing a tag, you're going to add some strong adjectives and some academic vocabulary. So, I also want you to look at punctuation as well. I talked about the fact that there are quotations around the title and commas before and after the title and author. So, there's one before and one after. Okay. Here are two more examples. Let's look at this and let's see if they made some mistakes and what mistakes they might have made. So, I noticed the academic vocabulary immediately. In the thought provoking novel, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee is about. So, thought provoking novel, I think, is a very good adjective to describe that. High academic vocabulary there. They made the same mistake as the first one. They simply need to take out the in the thought provoking novel. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a copy of this and we're going to correct it. So we're going to put a new one right here and we're going to correct it so that you guys can see what is the incorrect and what's the correct. So we're going to take out the in and we're going to have the thought provoking novel, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, is about. Now, one of the other things that they're forgetting is we need to make sure that we put quotations around. Get my, not sure how I got the international keyboard on, but we're going to take that off and go to US. All right. So we're going to put quotations before and after the title. And it looks like we have commas in the right place. So this one is incorrect. This one is incorrect. And this one is correct. All right. So you can see the difference in the two of those. Let's look at the next one. O. Henry penned the charming short story, The Gift of the Magi, about a young couple who each gave up their most prized possessions to purchase a gift for the other. Again, they've went ahead and included a little bit about what it's about. You don't have to know that to be able to write a tag. I see some really good academic vocabulary. Pen the charming story. One of the things, the only thing that I see in this one is they forgot a comma before and after the gift of the Magi. All right. Other than that, this looks correct. So I want you to get on this when you're finished and correct these for me. Okay. Then the next thing that you're going to work on is I want you to come down here now. All right. You are going to practice your own tags. Okay. Here's an example. E.B. White is the author of the heartwarming fictional story Charlotte's Web. Notice we have the author, we have the title, we have good, strong academic vocabulary, heartwarming. Okay, we have that it's a story. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to get in here, you're going to read the titles, authors, and genres, and you're going to create tags that could be used at the beginning of a response for literature. Again, it's okay if you do not know the story. You can make something up even that adds interest to your tag. Okay. Just pay attention to whether it's a novel or short story if it says in here. Okay. So we're starting with Ellen Raskin's The Westing Game. This is a mystery. All right. So I want you to think, how could we rewrite this tag? How can we use this to write a tag that we could start an introductory paragraph for? So I want you to think about that for just a minute. So we know that it doesn't say it's a short story. So we know that The Westing Game is a mystery. We know that it is a novel. So we need to think of some academic vocabulary that might go with mysteries. Mysteries maybe are exciting, mysteries can be intriguing, mysteries can be suspenseful. So, those might be some adjectives that we can use, some good academic vocabulary to be able to write this. Now, again, we can start with the title, we can start with the author, or we can start with the genre. So, here's what we're going to do, we're going to work on this and practice it together. So, this time, I think that I want to start with the title. So, I'm going to say, The Westing Game. Remember, you want a comma after the title. Is and I like that word intriguing. I thought it was good. Is an intriguing mystery written by Ellen Raskin. That is a good tag. Notice I used the title, I used the author, I used the genre, and I came up with some sort of academic vocabulary to make this sound better. So, what you're going to do is I want you to get into Google Classroom and I want you to get into this tag practice. As I said, all this lesson is in there. If you want to practice some more or you need to go back and look at what I taught you, you can pull this video back up if you need to. And then I want you to practice these four. Now, I have left this. I have put this, and you can again refer back to the video. This is an example, but I want you to try it again and maybe use another word or try to change up the order. Maybe do the author first and then the title and then the genre. So I want you to practice these four books and I want you to write a tag, which is the title, author, and genre in a sentence. All right. I want you guys to practice that for me.